anything more planned for themselves, or they don't understand that the great power they used to have those accomplishments is still with them. They think, oh, that was that, and then now it came and went, and it had its natural cycle, and now I'm not famous anymore or whatever, or rich. When in the Great Depression, people were jumping out of windows, right? Back in 29 or to 33 or whatever, we've all heard those stories. So it's really about understanding the power that you're using to create what you're creating, and to always having something further out. The closer you get to accomplishing something you've been trying hard to accomplish, the more you need to be looking ahead a little from that and say, okay, I'm getting close to that. Now what's going to be next? You don't want to reach your these huge goals and not have a plan for afterward, because that's the recipe for mental, emotional, spiritual, and financial disaster. And we see it happening all the time.
Yes, I agree on that one as well. So I skimmed through your book, the one that you sent me, Attract Money Forever. And someone was by me when I got to this page, and that we ended up having a discussion about it. And so I want to see what your pointers are on it, to someone who will read this and think the same way. So I'm going to quote you here. And you write, "Don't worry about how you'll get money. Don't spend a lot of time and energy trying to make more money in random ways. Relax, be patient. Know your subconscious is hard at work." So with that, the discussion that ended up happening was, I'm in a place where I need money. Right now, I'm not working. I can't pay my rent. I have to feed my kids. My situation is different than someone else reading this book. So how does he write that and then print it and tell people, don't worry about making money in random ways? Because right now it is a little random. Those that are delivering groceries that wouldn't normally, or foods I would consider that a random job, opposed to those that have been working in an office daily for the year. So what is your response to someone that has that mindset of, well, I have to do something random, I have to do this?
Okay. Okay, so that second, that passage that you're referring to, that's on page 22 of How to Attract Money Using Mind Power, and the chapter is 6th chapter is called Think End Results. And it says, don't worry about how you'll get your money. Don't spend a lot of time and energy trying to make more money in random ways. Relax, be patient, know your subconscious is hard at work. But if we want to look at the next chapter, the next paragraph as well, because it says you can try for a promotion on your job, look for a new job, or start a business. For now, do whatever you want to do or feel you must do to earn the money you'll need to live. But don't assume that's the way you'll reach your larger goals. So it does tell you in the paragraph you referenced that don't spend a lot of time and energy trying to make more money in random ways. Relax, because that people have a tendency to just run out and figure, oh, maybe I could be a real estate agent, maybe I could do this, maybe I could do that. That's not the way to really focus and relax, and to know that your subconscious is bringing you what you need. But also that's tempered with the instructions in the next paragraph, which is that doesn't mean you can't find a new job or do all of these other things, try to get a promotion at work or whatever. But you do that knowing that the process of mind power is bringing you what you need. And yes, you might have to do some things in the meantime, but you don't want, like it says in the paragraph, don't spend a lot of time and energy on that, trying to make money in all these random ways. If you're paying your rent and you're okay at the moment, and you technically don't have to, be working 3 jobs and all of this, a lot of time, because that in that is a lot of desperation energy, and that will tend to drive away abundance from you. Some people spend their entire lives in a desperation trying to keep up, working 2 jobs kind of a mode, or working 1 job 60 hours a week kind of a mode. So But like I said, it definitely would not be a good idea for someone who has no money, their rent's due in 3 days, and to just stay home and, watch soap operas and eat bonbons. That would not be the way to go. But the basic teaching is that you really want to relax. You want to be patient, even though you might be doing, like in the next chapter, it says you might, try to get a promotion or look for a job or whatever, but still your mental state should be relaxed and patient. And you don't want to spend a lot of energy and consciousness in ways that are like you're chasing after something, because the whole point of mind power is to attract things to you. The average person on the street doesn't understand their own mind power capacity, so they're always chasing after things. When we understand our mind power capacity, then we sit back and we do most of our work internally, and we watch things unfold, and we watch things come to us. If that
All
helps.
right. Yes, that does help. That does clear up the discussion. And it makes sense. It's like when you have your end goal, you have your drive and you're driven for it. And there are times where you're going to have to do another job to pay the bills, but you're still focused on that one goal. That's what I'm getting from it.
Right. It's the classic example of the future Hollywood blockbuster movie star who, in the meantime, is waiting tables.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Neat. I like it. It works for me. Yeah, that stirred up a that line alone, well, a few lines alone, and then it stirred up a very intense conversation where it led to the discussion of what can I do, what do I do, but you clarifying that it all comes down to keep your goals, keep what you're doing, but there are some times where you have to bust the table.
Exactly.
Have you ever encountered someone that has very much disagreed with you on mind power?
Certainly, there are people who don't like the idea, who absolutely don't believe it's possible. Like they think it's just who you know, what you do. It's nothing. You can't think in your mind something and then something out there happens. Somebody else does something different because of how you thought. And so there's people who absolutely don't believe it. There are people who think it's evil. They think it's some kind of the devil's work. You're doing voodoo, you're doing witchcraft and all of this. And there are people who I think want to believe it, but they don't really believe it, and so they become very antagonistic towards it. So I've been hit from every angle with everything over the years, in person and in letters, on radio interviews. I've even done more than one radio interview where the host at some point, I remember one interview I did 2 or 3 with the same person, and on the last one they became like a different person. They had changed their whole mindset, and now we're fighting me on this. And I remember another interview I did where the guy let me have my say all the way along. I could kind of tell there was a little bit of an edge in his, sarcasm or something. But then at the end, he started saying something about, I believe in what I can do, and he's just making money, and slammed me and then cut me off so I couldn't respond. So I've run across everything. But for the most part, I will tell you that it's overwhelmingly positive. Certainly anyone who has already knows about the power of the mind, or they're into The Secret, the law of attraction, or any of that, even spiritual metaphysics, and especially even quantum physics, because this is modern, cutting edge science now, that mind affects matter, that things are not what they appear to be. Anybody who has any foundation in that at all, I have found overwhelmingly they love me and they love what I'm doing. And also a lot of people who didn't know about this, because my book, How to Attract Money Using Mind Power, I've heard back from people over the years, they give it as a gift. Someone gave it to their grandson, I think it was, or son who was just graduating from college. Someone else gave it to their grandmother. And in those cases, I hear that it's the first such book on metaphysics or anything, mind power, that they've ever had. But they liked it also, and they understood it. I tried to make the book very simple to understand. Even I wrote it for people who have never heard of anything about this before. And as you know from looking at the book, I quote 160 other authors So, and I did that because I wanted people who read this for the first time to be able to say, well, this isn't just one guy's opinion. We got, we got Emerson in here and all of these famous people, Arnold Schwarzenegger, like from the past, from the present, teachers, people from other disciplines, and they're all backing up what it is that I'm teaching in there. And so overwhelmingly, to sum up my answer to that question is I've had a very positive and appreciative response from people that have run across the stuff that I'm putting out there.
And I feel like what you're putting out there is, like you said, you quote so many people in your book because there are a lot of people also saying something similar, and yours just happens to be targeted towards financials.
Right. But now a lot of my other books are really not even with the financial angle at all.
Okay.
People can go on Amazon and check out my author page, but other books of mine, I mean, I do have the money books, which are basically How to Attract Money Using Mind Power, Attract Money Forever, and 10 Metaphysical Secrets of Manifesting Money, which surprised me. It's a very popular book. It's a tiny little book. It's one of the ones that sells for $5.95, I think it is. But I've also got books like Advanced Manifesting Made Easy, The God Function, Aware Power of Functioning, The Supernatural Power of Thought, JGJ Thoughts, which is a collection of quotes and things like that from me, single little standalone items. And so, and most of these books now, the focus absolutely is not on money, even though you can apply the teachings to money, but they can be applied in many ways. And I'm also a songwriter, so I've written a couple of books of my song lyrics. I have my song lyrics, Volume 1 and Volume 2, with 50 song lyrics in each book, and those will also be free very soon on Amazon Kindle for anyone listening. And also JG Thoughts is going to be a free Kindle download also very soon. So just within the next couple of weeks here, I expect to have 6 books on Amazon for free.
So you told us all your book titles and that, you have a couple of different concepts of them, that's pretty neat. And now I know that the Attract Money Guru nickname just happened. You didn't just give yourself that nickname. Where can people find you to reach out, either for some coaching or just to discuss about your books and get to know more?
Well, the best thing to do is go to my website. That's JamesGoijr.com, JamesGoijr.com. And there, as I mentioned, they can get a free copy of a PDF copy of Attract Money Forever, and when they sign up for my free monthly Mind Power and Money e-zine. And I really suggest everyone do that because it's just a great resource. Once a month, it comes to you and helps you with your mindset and all of that. And also, when you're on the list, I'll send other emails. Like I just sent a couple out this last week for these new books that just became free on Amazon. So you'll find out about things such as that and my radio interviews and all of that. And so that's really a great resource. And I definitely would like people to download that. And also right now, the most timely book I have out there is for these times, this speaks directly to what we're dealing with, is The New Normal. And again, that's free on Amazon. So they can go to my Amazon page, or they can just go to Amazon and type in my name, James Goy Jr., or type in the title of the book, and they can download it for free on Kindle. And it's one short read. I mean, you can sit down. I just talked to my father this morning, and he read it yesterday. He just went out in the garage where he sits looking out at the street, and he just sat down and just read it in one sitting. It's a very easy read. And I think everyone should read that book right now because we're going through a lot of things. A lot of people don't quite understand it or know what to make of it or know how to respond to it. We are entering into a new normal. It's not going away tomorrow, but a lot of that new normal will be determined by us. And so these are the things I talk about in that book. And so I really encourage people to hop over to Amazon and to get a free copy of that.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, thank you, James, for coming on and chatting with me about your books and everything you do. I enjoyed it. And actually for clearing up a large discussion I had the other night. I appreciate that.
Well, certainly. It's been my pleasure, and I really enjoy being on with you. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. James is willing to put his information out there for free. on Amazon, put out a lot of his books and his website. There's books there that are free.